Thank
I just saw that the stream is live. Can I go? Can I go on?
you can go.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Adeja K. Yusuf, popularly known as JK. And trust me, we bring you fantastic stuff every week from inside Nollywood. And this is the Nollywood Deal Makers. From the title of this show, you already know what we're talking about. These are the people who, make decisions in Nollywood. And I promise to bring you guys amazing guests every week on this show. And on today's edition, we have a special guest. His name is Alva Momoh, and he is an award-winning film score composer in Nigeria. Hello, good evening. Good to have you on the show.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Absolutely. Okay, so we are very very excited to have you on the Deal Makers show, and trust me, it promises to be exciting today. And the topic we're talking about today is piracy. What Netnaija Discontinuation of pirated films and TV distribution mean for Nollywood? It is good news for Nollywood, I'm sure, but of course, I don't know all the details. But before we go into today's topic, I would like us to know you first, Ava Momo. So tell us, what does it mean to be a movie composer?
Well, being a film score composer or a movie composer, it's essentially translating emotion that the director wants the people to feel. Because ultimately, that's what music is. Music is just a way to transfer emotion. So if I want you to be scared, I'll make scary music. If I want you to be happy, I'll make happy music. If I want you to feel, all lovey-dovey, I'll make romantic music. So the job of a film score composer is basically to transfer that emotion from the scene that the viewer is, seeing with their eyes into their ears, and in a weird cliche way to their hearts, essentially, to make them feel. So it just surpasses what they are seeing. They have to feel it, and music is the way to trigger human emotion, and that's what I do. If I do not trigger that emotion, then I haven't done my job. Because if you're supposed to be scared and I don't scare you with the music, then I haven't done my job. So essentially, that's what it is.
Wow, wow. Your job is actually demanding and it requires intelligence because for you to be able to interpret emotions in a movie via songs, right? It takes you understanding the script first. So, how do you do it? How do you react to scripts when they come?
Well, generally, I try to read as many scripts as I can. Sometimes I'm busy. I have someone read them for me, and then they give me like a summary. But ultimately, I always try to go with something that I connect with emotionally or something that I really like. If I don't really like the script, it's going to be difficult for me. It's not like I can't do it, but like you said, it's a demanding job. It's something you're going to have to be. When you're working on a movie, you have to be watching that movie every day. You can work on a 2 minute scene for 3 days. So if you don't like what you're working on, you're going to have a very not good time. So essentially, I get the script, or my friend gets the script, and then they read it, and then they say, "Oh, this is a really good script. You should work on this one." And then have a meeting with the director and talk to him about the music, what he wants the audience to feel, what emotions he wants the script to convey, and then we discuss the tone of the music. If what kind of sound do you want? Do you want like an epic orchestra? Do you want like a big band, jazzy style orchestra, jazzy style score? So there are so many aspects to it, and after we have our discussions, we now decide, okay, fine. We know what we're going to do. We have a roadmap. Let's jump in, and then I start creating the music basically.
Wow, wow, that's a whole lot though. Before you
Mhm.
into this particular industry, like at what point did you decide that I wanted to be a film composer? Like what led you there? Like what inspired you to be a movie composer or a film composer?
Okay, interestingly, not I was it's not like I didn't know I was going to do this from birth. I don't think anybody really knows they want to be a film composer. I started out producing music for a couple of artists back in the day, Normalos, rest in peace. I worked with Weird MC and a couple of guys, way, way back. But then I was producing music, but um, the music production thing was, to summarize, it just wasn't popping off. There were so many artists and none of them had any money. None of them had money. And they just kept saying, make beats for me. When I blow, I'll carry you along. It's like, how many people will I make beats for that'll carry me along? At this point, if you would just give me 100 naira for all the millions of beats I've made, I'll be a multimillionaire. So,
Right.
if my uncle told me that he knew somebody who worked in Nollywood, and I was like, okay, this is a good opportunity to get some money because no matter what, if you're making a movie, you have a budget, and when you have a budget for music. And so I went to Surulere. I think this was around actually like 2002. And Surulere was the hub of Nollywood back then.
Okay.
Yeah. N- was it 2000? Yeah, 2002, 2003. Surulere was the hub of Nollywood back then. So I met this producer, and then he said, I usually work with another guy, but let me give you a chance. And then he gave me my first movie to score. Obviously, I was just doing it for the money. But, as time went on, I started really to enjoy it, and, I got really passionate about it and started doing it more and more, getting more gigs, and it just went on from there.
Okay, okay. Because honestly, when the first time I heard the word film composer, I was thinking like, is there a school for film composers? Like, is there a school, or are you the first? I know you're not the first one.
Hmm.
Tell
No,
me
no,
about
definitely not.
film composing
Sorry?
composers industry. Like, what is it like? Is it something that a lot of people are doing, or it's like relatively rare?
It used to be rare. You see, what we used to happen in Nollywood was there were like three people composing music. Um, Mike Iliam, I think Austin Erole, and I think even Sonny Okosu composed music for Nollywood movies. There weren't a lot of people doing it then. And then it was even the director would just tell you, give me a bunch of tracks. He
Okay.
doesn't give you the movie. He just tells you, give me a bunch of tracks, give me suspense, give me romantic. And then you just make like 10, 20 tracks, burn it on a CD, and then you give it to him. The editor will put the music on. So that's how it was. There weren't a lot of people. But, of course, as time went by, the industry was growing. People started demanding more quality for their work. So now you actually get the movie, you create the music to follow what's happening on the screen. And there are now so many other composers. I mean, and a lot of them, I know them, I'm good friends with them. So yeah, it's now a growing industry. There are also a lot of composers coming up, people that I am taking time out to help out in any way they need so that, the space can be fuller and, it can be its own industry in itself. Because the thing that I notice is, as I always say, that music is one of the most dispensable parts of the filmmaking process because you need a director, you need an editor, you need a lighting guy, you need everybody. But when it comes to music, you can just download it from the internet or just use anybody's track and stuff like that. So at the end of the day, because it's essentially dispensable, you need to have people that would come in and show that, look, there's value in your work when you hire a composer. And there are a bunch of people doing it now, which I'm very happy about.
Okay, fantastic, fantastic. Good to hear. So tell us, is film score composing, is it lucrative? Is it something that gives you good money?
When people ask me this, it's well, I
Big
would say this: you can make a decent living doing this.
for the
Okay,
money.
I didn't. Yes, a lot of people want it. They say, "Oh, there's money here. I'm just going to come in." Of course, there wasn't always money. I mean, my first film score, I got 15,000 naira for it. Emmanuel Ogogwa in 2002, 2003. I don't remember what the name of the movie because there were so many movies then. I don't remember the name, but it was 15,000. Then that was big money, you know. And
That's
then the top dogs,
20 years
what?
ago. I said that's
Yeah,
like
the
20.
top. Yeah, yeah. The top dogs used to get like I think 50K for a movie, 40, 50K. But I got 15. I was very ecstatic. I was over the moon about that. So, but of course, nobody's paying anybody 15K to score a movie now. So, I would say you can make a decent living doing it. But if you want to come in for the money, it's too much work for you to, you'll be frustrated and you'll burn out and you would quit. If we get to the point that if your work isn't quality, people wouldn't call you. And if
Yeah.
you are doing it just for the money, you wouldn't be dedicated enough to get things right.
What
And
you
then
what
people just wouldn't call you.
absolutely. Absolutely. But really, Alvar, you went into it wanting the money, like you told me, right?
Yeah.
So at what point did you become passionate? When did you change your mind and like, okay, this thing has to do with passion. It's not just about the money. Is it after you started making the money or somewhere in between? Or you realize that, oh, okay, if I do not put the passion, the money will not be big. What changed?
Well, it's also yeah. That's actually another interesting thing because a lot of times people feel you have to have the passion before you start doing something, which isn't entirely true. Sometimes you can start and then the passion comes after because you find people that are accountants and nobody was passionate about being an accountant as a teenager. Do you understand? You find tax attorneys or whatever. Nobody's passionate about company law, for example. Do you get? As you do something and then maybe you discover that you have some promise in it. You discover, okay, what, I'm actually not bad in doing this, and then you get encouragement for people. That's when the passion started coming because I did a couple of gigs and then people said, oh, okay, this guy is nice, so call this guy to do your movie. And then I worked with a couple of people and a couple of other people, and then I started thinking, okay, I want to actually be better. And then the moment you decide that you want to be better at something that you're doing, that's when you actually start becoming passionate about it. And from that moment, I would say maybe about a year into it, I started developing the passion because it's not like I was getting so many jobs when I started out, but a couple of jobs the first year, then the passion started growing basically.
Okay, fantastic. So, as of the year that you started this, it's a long time ago. And that time, parents were really supporting their children who wanted to go into anything entertainment. What was the support? Did you have support from your family? Was it easy for you? What was it like?
Well, it wasn't difficult. My mom, I'd always, it's not like I wasn't a yuppie guy. I was just a boring nerd. You get so I pretty much just stayed indoors, stayed on my computer. So anything that I was doing, my parents were just like, just leave Ava alone. It doesn't have stress. I didn't stress my parents. I didn't, chase girls and you get so they were just like, what?
I said they always say like you're not a troublesome kid, so it's okay if you're not.
Yeah. Yeah, so they pretty much just, and I was a student at the time, when I started doing it. So I was still going to class, I was still passing, getting good grades, and I was still doing it on the side. So they didn't really they didn't really stress me, honestly.
Okay, so you
And
didn't give
when
your parents to start saying, "Oh, you shouldn't be doing this because your grades are good. You are a fantastic, child to them and everything." So there was no reason for them to say,
exactly.
"We ain't gonna support you."
And then when I finished university, I did look for a job. I went through the motions and good jobs are hard to come by. And I was like, there's no point me doing it like I don't know, doing a job that doesn't pay well when I can earn the same amount of money doing what I'm doing in the comfort of my house. Do you get so ultimately my parents didn't really give me a hard time about it.
Okay, that is amazing. So tell us, what is that movie that you had to score? Let me use that word that you had to score, and it was really difficult for you, like the most challenging movie you've ever scored.
Hmm.
Think,
Wow, that's
think about
it's
it.
a good. Well, I don't know if it's challenging. I don't. Mm, I'm trying to think. I don't really think I've had a movie that's really challenging. The thing is, once I know what I'm going to do, it's much easier.
Once you understand.
Do you understand? Once I know what I'm going to do, yes, once I know what I'm going to do, it's much easier. Now, there are movies that require a lot of work. And like one of the movies that I worked very hard on, it actually hasn't even come out yet, and I scored it in 2020, and it premiered at AFRIF last year. I think it won Best Movie,
Oh,
Best Screenplay. Daniel Etim won Best Actor on it. It's called Kofa, so it's still gonna come out. And the movie, it was during. Okay, I worked on it in 2020 when COVID started,
okay.
and
During the lockdown.
COVID. Yeah, it was locked down. I'm in the house. I'm with my child. So, and then I'm trying to do this movie, and then of course we don't know what's going on with the virus. That's when everybody was washing their hands every 5 minutes. So I was working on the project at that time. So mentally, it was really difficult. It took me way, way longer to get through it because of all the things that were going on with COVID. So that was difficult. But ultimately, the end results, I was really happy with it. Oh, I can't hear you. Can you hear me? Are you on mute?
There you go. Can you
Okay, I
hear?
can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay. So now I cannot see you. Okay, I can see you now. Yeah, when you get a script, and they tell you, okay, Ava, we want you to work on this and all that. Do you just work from your office, or sometimes you have to be on set to understand what's going on? How does it work?
Well, I generally just work from my office. I rarely ever have to be on set. As a matter of fact, sometimes I rarely even meet the director in person. But I did a movie called Collision Course. It was directed by Bolanle Austin Peters, and the time that we actually met face to face was at the premiere of the movie. We hadn't met at any time prior to that. We were all just talking on the phone, talking about the movie. I was sending her music, and she was liking it, sending notes and everything. But the time we actually met face to face was at the premiere. So I hardly ever have to go to set. I hardly ever have to actually even go anywhere. Actually,
So you work remotely.
yeah, most times.
You're one of those tech big boys. Like you guys work remotely. You don't have to leave your house to make millions.
I wouldn't say that, but it's nice not having to leave the house. That's for sure.
I know. Okay, so let's go straight into today's topic. We haven't said anything about it.
Mhm.
I intentionally, we're talking about piracy today, and recently there was Netnaija discontinued, producing or distributing pirated films, on their platform, and there's been different reactions on social media. What do you have to say about this and how it has affected the Nollywood industry?
Well, the thing with Netnaija is, it's when, to be completely honest, I didn't really know Netnaija was so popular.
It
Funny
is.
enough, I had no idea it was so incredibly popular. I saw someone put up a post on Twitter with the stats, and it was one of the top 10 most visited sites in Nigeria, and I was blown away. And which is funny because piracy has always been such a problem for the industry. Are you still with me? Okay, did I lose you? Hello. Okay, I think our host has been disconnected. I don't know what's going on. I guess we'll try to get back in. Hello, inside Nollywood. Are you guys disconnected? Okay, hold on. Okay, so they've definitely been disconnected. Hello, inside Nollywood. Where did you guys go? Hello, hello. Is anyone here? Okay, let me go find out what happened, and I think we'll rejoin the stream later. Intermission.
Hello, anybody can hear me? Is anybody there? I don't want to chat with anybody. Hello, Delight. Delight, can you hear me? I think I should come out to make it up. have to make do with this Samsung. Delight, can you hear me? I have to manage this. I usually use my iPhone, but we'll just manage this. Delight, if you
Can you
can
hear me
hear me,
now?
let me know. I'm so sorry about that.
Oh, happens.
I'm so sorry.
Network issues. I think we have network issues again. Can you guys hear me? Is my network the issue?
No, we can hear you. We can hear you. Maybe
Oh, okay.
she's getting.
Okay, so she's going to try and reconnect.
Yes, she will soon.
Okay, let's wait. Can you hear me? Okay, I can't hear you, but I can see that you're talking. But it's the connection is bad. Yeah. Oh, she's been disconnected again. I can see you, but it seems like the network is so bad. Let me see. Seems there's network problem. Can you hear me? Okay, no, it's too Wi-Fi. I can't hear anything. I don't know if you can hear me, but I can't hear anything. It seems you are freezing a lot. I mean, it's it's obviously a net point. I don't know. I'm not even sure if it's from my end.
Delight, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can finally hear you now. Seems like the phone
I'm
is
in with
is
audio
on.
only now so that we will not be having the problems of network. Hello? Hello?
Okay, the connection seems to be better, but I think you are on mute. Hello, can you hear me? Mm, I can't hear you. I'm not getting audio from my end.